Recording in progress.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this marketing and red hot chili talk show. Welcome. Very great to have here with me today three extremely distinguished, very well prepared, with really a lot of chili padi, chili sauce, chili everything for our marketing talk show of today. No slides, a lot of questions, a lot of interactions with the public. Please, you all remember there is a chat. Put up your question in the chat. We will be more than happy to roll the show, the talk show. This is really a talk show, meaning again open discussion between the three participants and the moderator and the host and the public. First of all, let me introduce our very distinguished guest of today. One is a man who lives in the cloud. He moved in the cloud a few years back, and since then no one has been seeing him any longer. Hello, Alfred. Alfred Tan is the regional director of Avanza. He's boosting, with a lot of chili again, boosting the cloud call center for to help a marketer in not defrosting, but warming up, preparing the leads to jump into the boiling pot, again with some good red hot chili, and become presentable to the salespeople. Welcome, Alfred. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Dr. Daniele.
Second one is a virtual man. You can see him, but he is transparent. You try to pass through his body with your hand, you can go through. He's a virtual man. Artus Ong, founder and CEO of My 3D Vision, is a young guy, fantastic, very much talkative, positive, and above all, tech, with a very strong tech background, which has been reinventing 3D vision for property developers and for other market segments. Thank you for being with us, Artus.
Thank you for intro, Dr. Daniel. Thank you.
Last but not least, Mr. Chua. Chua is a very good friend of mine, the CEO of ProSales. ProSales is a end-to-forever digital property platform. In the past was end-to-end. Since today onward is becoming end-to-forever, and you will understand why during this 1 hour and a half of discussion. Chua is a tech guy, data analyst, AI-driven. He doesn't talk by normal word. He uses only 1 and 0, 0, 1 binary language. But he has been making the happiness and the success of quite a number of property developers in Malaysia, and is now expanding in the region in Southeast Asia. Welcome, Chua. Welcome with us. Do you have your chili padi?
No, I got chili sauce.
Oh, then I pass over. I pass over to you some chili padi, some chili,
Yeah,
and then you can make the sauce. Oh my goodness! Today is going to be all chili and white chili. White chili, first of all. I'm definitely a Masalea, quite low. I'm not a Malaysian, even though my friends are calling me the Malaysian with an Italian passport. I've been here since 1998. I eat chili like nobody business. I mean, I can put chili everywhere. And let me ask a first question to our speakers, to our panelists, but also to our public. Is anyone here aware of where chili, chili you can use chili, the chili padi, but the best of all should be the chili flake, all right? Some chili flake. What is the food which get the most gain by combination with the chili? If you can guess, you put up your reply in the chat, or better, let me do a very fast pull out of it, okay? I give you three choices. The first choice is durian and chili. If it's durian and chili, you put up 1. Second choice is pasta arrabbiata. If you think it's pasta arrabbiata, which means angry pasta, you put 2 in the chat. The third one is chocolate. Chocolate and chili. If you think that chocolate and chili is the right one, you have to put 3. Let's see what our public thinks about it. Wow, someone is saying definitely 1. Wow, durian and chili? Are you sure? 3, 3, 3, 3. 3, 3 should be not so young. Wow, so many durian and chili. I need to try. That one, honestly, I never tried. I tried what I know by world knowledge, but widespread knowledge is a food that takes a fantastic enhancement of taste and flavor in your mouth. With the chili flake is chocolate. Number 3 is the right reply. Very good, very good. Wow, you see, I was telling you, chili and marketing. We talk about chili, then we talk. My hobby some more is cooking. Can you imagine? I cook and put chili everywhere. I even give chili to my dogs. Okay, now let me do a very short introduction, because let's come back to the reality. We are talking about property. We are talking about property development in the specific, but what will be the content of today can be applied to anything. You translate the dialogue that we will have today about property into dialogue of travel agencies, in dialogue of F&B or whatever else, you will have exactly the same type of result. Because today we are going to talk about the twister, e-twister, e-funnel, and most importantly, we will explain what property infinity loop means. All right, so this is the whole cycle of today's discussion. Now, why we are talking about this new way of looking at marketing? Because in the last 1.5 year, the public, the market has been brutally, drastically, dramatically changing, all right, as never before. Digital transformation has been hitting all our lives because of the pandemic, because of MCO, because of the work from home mode that we all have been experiencing. We are probably experiencing today. Chua, Arthurs, Alfred, you are all staying at home, right? No one of you is in the office. all at home. So we are again showing very clearly that the world is going online. The market, the buyers are definitely online as never before, and this has brought the visitor, the netizen, how we call people in internet, to start searching in a totally different way. In the past, the search was, I go on an online portal, I pick up what I want to go and see. During the weekend or after my working hours, I go and I see this project. Okay? Now, that was the past. And allow me to say, from a very practical point of view, if you want to go during weekdays, 90% you have to take half day off from work. Why? Because sales galleries are normal, physical sales gallery are normally open 11 a.m. till 5, 6, 7 p.m. max. So you need to get some time off of your working time. Or go during the weekend time. But then you have to jump on a car. Maybe it's heavy raining or very sunny, it's very hot. You jump into the car, you jump into the traffic jam, you pollute the air, you arrive to the sales gallery. Maybe you cannot find easily the sales gallery. Well, so many headache, right? Can we do a very fast comparison with what has been happening in the last 1.5 years that will help us to really jump into the first question for our panelists? In the last 1.5 years, people has been online searching for project, online having a look at the surrounding, Google Earth or other application. For the one of you that haven't been so lucky to find artists project with artist product in, they had to go into Google Earth, Google Street View, understand the surrounding, have a look at Google Map, have a look at the big map of Google Map with the infrastructure, visit this virtual sales gallery eventually, talking online with agent or with salespeople of the developer. All the process has been changing. And this big change in the process, in the journey of buying, has been really bringing us towards a totally different market approach. When I say us, I talk about marketers, because I am a marketer, and Arthurs, Alfred, Chua are also marketing their respective product, and today we are talking to you. 90% of you are involved in marketing and sales. So, as marketer, we have to evolve, we have to adapt to this new reality. Now, what I would like to highlight very, very much is a research that has been done by an American firm last year, at the end of the last year. They came out saying that 2021, 2022, the budget of big corporation and SMEs, according to a survey that they conducted in different markets around the world, will be mostly allocated to customers' experience. Experience is becoming the truly hot red chili of marketing, because the more exciting is the experience, the more interactive is the experience, the more interesting, the more educative is the experience, the faster buyers will keep on coming in and will be very happy to see you virtually, to see your project, and so on. One very important point that we will see today is how should I be looking at experience? Is this something that starts at the very beginning? How do I apply it? So what I would like to ask as a first question to our three panelists, what do you think means customer experience, and why is it so important? Which area it affects the most? And only interactive and immersive online experience, or there is more? I mean, is only in the very initial stage of the journey, or is something that can accompany the buyer after he has been purchasing, because the experience, I don't think, is ending somewhere. But let's see our panelists what they think. Arthurs, you are the first one. Please
Yes.
enlighten us.
Thank you, Dr. Daniel. I think what we have been working on all this while assisting property developers is to get the prospects to experience the spaces. And what happened along the way before this pandemic hits, we got a few ways to allow our property developer to reach out to their prospect by having the 3D mobile sales gallery. What it meant is the sales gallery is mobile. We can move from one location to another location. But and also there's a few things. Maybe I'll quickly just share to give you an idea what are the experiential meant before the pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. Let me
Yes.
share the screen. What you see on the screen here is we can turn the table. You're talking about all experiential thing. You turn the table in the control panel. Imagine that you're in like Iron Man kind of environment. You use your hand to move. The table can be any size or any shapes. You can navigate in the air and then push it to the screen. So that's one of the experientials that we are giving out, the wow factors to someone to impress someone through the experience. This second part here is where you see that you're having a mobile devices, so you can control multiple screen. On the main screen in the center here is showing the overall development, when we can pick up any of the development and show it on the right screen, and we can pick another eye level kind of experience, push it on the left screen. So it's fully controlled and fully interactive so that you can get a very immersive kind of experience, like flying into that kind of location. This is all pre-pandemic. Then we can turn a wall. It can be just a normal plaster wall or a glass panel and turn into a multi-touch screen. So suddenly you get a big tablets like on your venue or on your sales gallery or on the wall they wanted to show. But all these are what we call that a pre-pandemic. So what happened is as it goes along, the lockdown came in. That's where that the other experience is more relevant that we're going to touch later. But we're talking about how a virtual be able to connect remotely, very engaging and experiential, which is also leading to emotional connections because it allows anyone to actually interact in the spaces. What we're trying to achieve here also, we actually have it more like walking into a sales gallery. For example, you can walk into this virtual gallery, you can walk towards the balcony, pick any level you wanted, see the view from those units, go inside the units and you can explore. You can actually bring us specifications, for example, what the floor finishes, what the material, what the appliances. All this is doable and we can show a bit more later. I'll leave it back to Dr. Daniel, but this is all about experiential. Yeah, we're talking about. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you. Interactive. What we are talking here is interaction. To involve is not you salesman just simply showing something to the buyer on a sales kit. Is not you showing something on a touch screen or a wall touch screen. Is your buyer that can interact directly with this virtual pre-pandemic kind of type of technology. But now I would like to go one step before entering the sales gallery, because again, what we have been saying at the beginning, what I've been saying at the beginning, our buyers are today online most of their time, for work, for entertainment, for whatever, all right? They are living online. They have become 100% netizen. And this being online is undoubtedly bringing them to research more about something where they have an interest. I want to buy a property, so I'll start looking for the type of property I want to buy, and I want to be educated. I want to learn more. I enter what I define. Let me show you 1 second how the journey goes along. All right. Okay, and where is it? Here. Okay. This is how the whole virtual journey is starting. All right, it starts with a twist where you give education, then you use this red hot chili as keyword. All right, or better, you use keyword as red hot chili to give a stronger taste, biting taste to our readers. And finally, as we have been seeing with artists just now, you introduce them in this e-funnel, and then they come out from the funnel as generated leads. Now, Alfred, let me ask you this question because that has been, since ever, one of the biggest challenges that I have had when I was leading a big sales team of aggressive young salesmen and women in project sales. I give you 800 leads. Why you never follow up? After 2 weeks, how many? Can I see the result? Can I see more? So, Alfred, tell us what specific trick or which type of chili are you using, you and your team, to warm up to welcome this dropping of the e-funnel leads before passing them to the sales team. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Daniel and Process and the team. I really appreciate the opportunity. And in fact, I would like to thank all the audience because you came here with our talk. It's nothing to do with me or the team here. It's got to do with you. And that's why I want to appreciate your time for us to share with this. Now, first of all, I think there's a misconception. The misconception that everything is hot when it comes into you as a lead. In fact, you have to understand the diagram of that pyramid first. The pyramid on the top basically are the hot chili that we're talking about. Those are really says that I take the interest to call you. I take the interest to even to come to the 3D showroom, right? Other than that, they probably says, maybe I'll get the idea. Maybe I heard about you. The rest just don't care, right? So now in what we have seen, and starting from what the question earlier, much earlier with what Dr. Daniel was talking about, the transformation of digital and the transformation of marketing you see, and we started much earlier. We have been in business for more than 10 years in talking about hot leads to cold leads to hot leads. And one of the things that we realized since 2018, we realized that all the traditional marketing tools, all the traditional, we're talking about all those you see when you're driving, when you basically buy a newspaper and so on. Literally, where are they today? And are they really relevant in helping your business? So those are the things that we were seeing since 2018. And when the pandemic hit, the whole thing changed, right? Now, one of the things that you have to actually understand is, understand where this chili that we were talking about is. Today, those leads are still relevant. The top 3% on the top of the pyramid, those who really see a number and give you a call, those are really what we call hot chili because they take the time. Now, how is that? Now, the thing is, in this digital transformation or before the digital transformation, everybody has one common thing, maybe about more than 10 years ago. Okay, except for my parents who basically just got themselves a smartphone. Now, a smartphone changed everybody, right? It becomes smarter. Now, one of the things that Google did, Avanza basically, we are a premier partner with Google, and we've been doing this for quite some time. And research has done more than 10 years ago what they coined what we call ROPO, research online, purchase offline. Okay, people getting smarter. Your buyer getting smarter. They know what to find out, what to know, what to gather about your company, to gather about your product. And that's why I have to make this statement, and this statement is very important. First of all, you're selling properties, and it's not like buying Lazada, 100, 200 or few thousand ringgit product. It's few 100,000 to million. Okay. Second, your buyer is not robot. They are human being. right? The misconception here is they are not human beings. Now, human beings, they are unpredictable and they are very, very emotional. When I use the word emotional is most of the time, salespeople, business managers, and so on has misconception that everybody would like to buy your hot chili product. Unfortunately, that's not true. People don't buy your product. People buy with a reasonable reason. That's why I use the word, people don't buy what you do and how you do it. People buy the why, the reason. The reason is always come, which is what we call a cognitive way. It's not really something that is, it's something, it's not just, it has to be resonate in the emotional. Okay, so that's why we say that we start with that in a trickle way. So what Dr. Daniel was showing earlier was about how to get those people into the new medium, the new channel, the research, the online, see them in your Facebook, in your Instagram, and so on. All right, then get them to be interested. What is it all about? But then most importantly, once they actually put themselves, their email or their information, or even really a call, if there's no human being at the next to pick it up, or most importantly, if I leave a message and get a call the next following day, or maybe in the next 5 seconds, it's a huge difference. Okay, so what we do is to make sure that if you call, the call is immediately goes into a next person, your salespeople, and when they pick up, they can actually communicate directly without having wasting time. Okay, and the most important here is the salespeople can do their art. I'm using the word art, their chili again. Okay, because salespeople really need to know that at the end of the day, people who call today, of course they would like to know about your product. Of course they would like to know how you do it. But most important thing is they're asking you, can I actually trust you? Can I actually work with you? Can I actually develop that relationship with you? In the other way around, if salespeople are doing that, are your organization encouraging your salespeople doing that? So this is what we call the process of understanding, not just that coming in from the internet and say that I like this product and then finally buy my product, because that's not the whole thing. The whole thing is the total cycle. And then of course we touch the other point is when we come into what others is trying to share, because not everybody knows that you have a 3D gallery and so on. But if they do, that's the wow effect. Another chili, Daniel, another chili. The wow effect. Now, why I said it's the wow effect is today. I mentioned the traditional marketing. This is very funny. They were saying that 10 years ago, if you don't have a billboard, people don't believe you're a big company. Today, if you don't have a 3D, if you don't have a 3D, at least a 3D virtual reality showroom, you're not a big company, right?
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
the joke, right? Now, another thing that I need to add is another thing is like booking system. I mean, booking system, and also the other part I'm going to touch is about how to actually do the because I mentioned about process in my past interview. It was basically the same thing. If you don't have a booking system, if you don't have a what do you call a virtual system that I can use this smartphone to do my to follow up with my complaint about my property, about my defects. That is basically what we say today. It's a brand statement. So I think that's one of the most important to understand that cycle that we are talking about. We are dealing with human beings. People don't buy what you do and how you do. People buy with why. And that's why the most important is after you get all this research online, and when people are ready to make that purchase offline, when they start to put email and send to you, and when they start to have the interest to want to communicate with you, that's where the art needs to come in. This is where we come in, and that's why we love to work with you guys.
Absolutely, you are so damn freaking right, Alfred. You are a hot piece of red hot chili, 100%. Now, I am sure online we have 102 delegates, public. I'm sure that within all of you there are plenty of developers, property developers. Now, you tell me you never experienced over expectations in your buyers, which has been built up by too emotional salespeople or agents over promising, saying, "Wow, I can give you from your window. You will see beautiful the skyline of KL." But then after 2 months, a building comes up and bye bye skyline of KL or similar things. Now, one of the biggest advantage of this digital transformation in general is that technology offer you three very important letter T. One is trust. One is built, trust has to be built on transparency and truth. Now, what I was mentioning during the introduction, and then I will pass the ball to Chua, because this is directly involving your Pro Sale Solution 2.0 platform. When, as a developer, I come and see you, I think you are uploading, I am pretty sure you are uploading all the information as a developer I'm giving to you, right? So everything will be stored somewhere in the cloud, and everyone can access through it, through the phone, through their phone, tablet, computer, to this cloud. Is one source of information only. And this create the biggest possible firewall to building over expecting buyers. They will really know what they are buying and how the thing is moving forward. So, Chua, what I would like to understand better from you, because we have artists giving this extraordinary customer experience. We will go back to him in a short while. We have Alfred warming up the building the trust, building the reputation, and finally handing over hot leads to the sales team. Then the sales team is still at home. So can you explain to us a bit how Pro Sales has been integrating, and through this integration with partners such as My3 Division, Avancer, and others, how you have been able to allow developers to survive and to take business as usual, even during MCO?
Yeah, sure, Dr. Daniel. Yeah, like what Alfred just now mentioned, the customer and the user experience actually is a very important within when they're using the technology. And this is why there are, based on the research that I read previously, I also find out that over 80% of the people, they say that the customer experience actually is one of the very, very important factor when they are doing some buying decision, especially when they comes into buying a house, because the house is not a few hundred ringgit products, but it's actually a few 100,000 ringgit products. And that's why the buyer, they won't simply, they are not going to buy from just anyone. Just in fact that they are actually going to buy from someone that they trust, that can provide them the consultancy, or they can provide them the facts or the information that they need. And this is why that the technology actually is playing a very important role in this part. They have to, the technology actually can provide them a very, very good customer experience in building the confidence of the buyer, through whether through the virtually or through the digital method. And this is why that the artist is here today. He actually will show us how the 3D things can, how they provide the information to the buyer or the potential buyer, the prospect, to know that what is the thing that they need to know before they buy the property. What is the property will look like exactly when they buy it. And this is how the virtual tools can help the property agent and also the property developer to continue their so-called their sales presentation, their sales pitching, without need to meet the prospect in person. And through this method, although we are actually locked down, okay, we are currently under lockdown and everyone is stay at home, they are still able to remain the connection with the market and themselves. Yeah, so maybe let me check whether I can share my slide. I would like to share something to you guys also.
Yeah, please, please.
Yeah,
Remain connected. Remain connected is precisely, you are absolutely right. What digital transformation, what prop tech, what pro sales, in this case, have been allowing property developers, big players in the built environment to do is to remain connected to the market, to maintain a communication lifeline with their market.
yeah. Like Dr. Daniel, just now you show the slide, right?
Yep.
Actually, my slide actually is a little bit more details a bit lah compared to yours one. Just like what you mentioned just now, all those kind of the digital marketing, the SEO, the keywords is actually going to do the so-called something like we call it as the inbound marketing. That one I think later you will explain further for that,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Then what we do actually after we receive all these kind of different leads from the social media or from anywhere, then it will go into the so-called e-funnel. Okay, and then this e-funnel actually will flow into our so-called, this is what at the beginning you say, this is a end to forever or maybe end to infinity and beyond loop. Yeah, and this is why because that I find out that this also is the idea of our process 2.0. Because during our process 1.0, we are actually providing a so-called end-to-end solution. But after that, I found that after because that like for me actually I'm as a so-called as a solution provider because I would like to mention ourselves as the position ourselves as a solution provider. Then
Yep.
we are actually providing a system. I better I think that we call it as a solution provider is more accurate way. We provide the solution to the market, like as a
Yep.
so-called like as a responsible solution provider. Like for my side, okay, I actually always listen to the market, find out what is the pain points in the industry currently and what the industry player needs. Just like the property developer today, they are not able to doing the sales online or anything. Then this is where we come out our so-called end-to-end solution. But after that, I found the end-to-end solution is actually more on the so-called project-based solution, which means that the project from starting, okay, like the sales, the lead management, after that the sales, the loan, SPA, then after that the delivery of the unit, and then after that finish already. And then this is why that our process 2.0, I have an upgrade version already. I call it as the end to forever or end to infinity and beyond loops. This is why that actually some of the this is also the more educational way lah. Because I found that some of the developer they are more likely like, okay, after this project already finished already, okay, then I close this project, then I start another project. But actually there's many data and also some of the information that can be reused or can be recycled and can be nurtured from the previous project. And this is what that the end to infinity loop, this concept came in. Because that for our solution, we not only help the developer to handle since the beginning, like we using our we are partnering with our partners like the 3 Division Advancer, that we actually providing the 360 and also the digital, the virtual call center service to them. They're trying to turn their leads into cold to warm to hot, and after that they buy the unit through our solution. But then after they buy the unit already, they are actually an existing buyer. But who knows that this existing buyer might be your next buyer? Is it correct? And this is why that actually our process 2.0 is actually can be said as a so-called data-driven solution, that we not only providing the latest technology to our clients, but we actually also provide some of the analytics that they need based on their previous project, or even based on their existing customer behavior. Then from there, they are also able to treat it as a so-called a market analysis, and then from there they can actually trying to do their planning procedure and then go for their next project strategies.
Yep. And Let me just elaborate a bit on the inbound marketing that you have been mentioning just now. All right, because again, people are online, and one thing that I always ask audience to consider, as you know, I am also the president of the Malaysian PropTech Association, and I keep on repeating this to all our members, and I say, guys, don't think small. Why? Because internet is boundaryless. You cannot say, oh, my website is for the Malaysian market. Who say? You put online something and you might be caught by a UK visitor, American visitors, US, Central America, Middle Eastern, Australians. The whole world can come and see you. And starting from that principle, imagine I am a New Zealander, I'm Googling a project in Malaysia, and I find something interesting, a project that is interesting from a developer ABC, but I want to know more. I want to know more, and at this point, the inbound marketer is the one that start putting up the first chili into the soup of the developer, into the pasta arrabbiata, as I was saying earlier, the pasta arrabbiata that the developer is serving in a virtual way through Arthurs and Alfred to the public. How? Inbound marketing is something that is really, really different from the old traditional billboard, hoarding, banner, billboard advertisement, street hoarding and street bunting and print ad and all the physical way of showing up a project. Inbound marketing is something that allows a property developer to wisely invest. Give me a second because I'm sharing the wrong one in this moment and this one. Okay. Inbound marketing is a way, a totally different way from the traditional outbound marketing to approach the market. Outbound marketing, you do what? You start talking about me. Me means I am the developer ABC. I decide to go for it. Outbound marketing, I start talking about me. Then I talk about me again. And then I talk about my project. And I talk and I tell you, oh, my project is so beautiful because of this is me, 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 me. And when I talk about me, the next thing that happens, I need to put in a lot of money to get people to see me. And this big money put in to see me is like a huge drop full up of a huge quantity of leads of people that are simply scrolling the news feed at a certain point, see, oh, this image, imagine you're creative, is very good and can attract attention with an image, then they like the image. And then immediately come up a message and without realizing it, say, yes, I register. And nowadays technology allows marketer to collect already data from this registration. What is the value of that lead? Alfred, I guess that even for a genius of warming leads, converting such a frozen link into a less cold lead, it will be very difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dr. Daniel, because the whole idea is we don't know how and what these people have been going through in past of their experience. And this is very important that you touch, okay? Today's marketing is a lot, I would say, it's what we call direct sales marketing. It's not really marketing that resonates, right?
Yep.
So, and that's what struggled by many brands, many I would say property developers and brand owners. You have to look at the market completely different today from 10 years ago or even 5 years or even 2 years ago. Because right now, I would say this. This is a statement I want to guarantee about it, because many of you already know people like Grab, people like all these big company that basically like Google and so on. They don't own a lot of assets. They probably have a lot of digital assets, but they don't have a lot of assets. What they do have is a lot of database. So property developer, you probably have a lot of properties, physical properties. You probably have land bank. The question is, do you have the database, loyalists, people who says, I buy my property only from this brand because I trust them and I work with them. So that's why if you look at it, if you see that kind of mindset that you start to think about it, then your perspective about marketing will be different. Because why? You will talk about how to resonate in their heart, no longer about just get them into their eyeball, right?
Yep.
Marketing
You are.
before this is all about talking about eyeball, but today we're talking about resonate in their heart. So when you look it into that perspective, you already know which one is warm, which one is cold, which one is hot. That's
Yep.
simple, right?
Yep.
And from what we do, not just the survey that we do, because what happened is when our technology for calling out as well as receiving calls are all recorded, okay, and we can transcribe them, and we can do a lot of in terms of because we are contact data analytics system, and because it's call recorded, all this data is actually for you to use. And I made that statement earlier in the previous shows with Chua. I bet any of those managers or sales leaders who basically just listen to that conversation between your salesperson and your leads, you'll be shocked and probably get angry. Because a lot of times, as a manager, as a sales, after that conversation, you say, that's all you do? So that's why we say that we don't have to actually go so far away. Just basically current leads. Listen to those conversations, and you see that what it means to miss out between that outbound marketing and inbound marketing. What are the things that really you missed out in terms of resonating into that point? Again, not to focus on what and how, but building up that trust, bringing it up to that collaborations. And then
Exactly. That is a huge difference between outbound and inbound. Outbound, you buy their attention. And how long will last their attention?
Yeah.
Very shortly.
Yeah.
I have been, from my personal experience, our group, a group of companies, in the past was exclusive sales agency for property developers. We have been receiving hundreds, thousands of leads from outbound marketing campaign. Result was less than 1% at the end was partially interested. And it was extremely hard to do anything with them because there was no trust, no relationship, no identification, no sense of belonging in terms of understanding what the project is. Now, inbound marketing, when we go in the inbound marketing, first we start preparing the client by educating them. And how do we educate them? First, as Chua was saying, we listen to the market. We listen to what they want, why they want it in that way, when they want it, what they need the most inside. Is not for us, architect, developer, main con, players in the built environment to decide what to give, but for us to understand what they want. You tell me, if you do a survey in an area, in a defined area of the market, and you find out that 90% of the people there doesn't swim, will you put a swimming pool only because every condominium has a damn freaking swimming pool? It's a waste of money. Maybe these people prefer to have a badminton court because all of them are playing badminton. This is listening, all right? And this is what education bloggers, speakers, KOL, key opinion leader, public influencer, the good one, not all of them, you just pick carefully who you choose, are the ones that are creating this trust, start building the trust, start building the interest. Then, at that point, from the the first inbound marketing twister, the interested ones are falling into the e-funnel. And in the e-funnel, artists, they find you. Or better, they find the project that is using your pandemic-proof technology, which I would really love at this point for you to show to our viewer and to demonstrate live during this chat. But before we proceed and I give you the sharing, let me just remind to all our public. Guys, girls, there is a chat where you can post questions. There is a Q&A session where you can post also questions. We are here to reply to your questions besides discussing between us. And let me show you one more thing that you all can do. It's very simple. You just have your WhatsApp, you add this number to your WhatsApp and drop your question, your chili hot, red hot chili question, must be very spicy one, to this number. This number will be connected to us and we will definitely reply to all your questions. So now, Arthur, tell us a bit more, explain a bit more how, after the education, after understanding what they want, after a bit of warming up with Alfred, what you can do in a virtual way for a project.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Daniel, and thank you for the crowd who is participating. Let me share my screen. Just a moment. All right. Just to check, you can see a sales gallery on the screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very well.
Okay. There are many ways of doing this. Once you can get from like Google Map area view, going to from the drone view, you can see the surrounding. What I'm actually demonstrating here is if any one of you have a sales gallery, or even if you don't have a gallery, sales gallery, you can always build a 3D gallery. This is an existing sales gallery, but what we are doing here is to turn it into something that is fully interactive so that you can get the relevant information they require. So here, very much you can navigate as how you navigate. Really, most of you all know how to navigate, but here you can go into different spaces while you're navigating. Any of the panel that you see here is actually you can just bring up to the screen so that you can get information like virtually you're walking into that gallery and see like the floor plans, the images. For example, I want to bring this out. I can bring out again. I can look at it, or let's see that. What are on the floor plans, what does this have to offer. So it's very much, it's like walking in the gallery, you see a screen is playing a video, you can bring up the video to actually view it. So from here, you can navigate into understanding, or this property developer, or if you have any showroom or any event space, or you can actually do this to enable someone to come into your gallery, to visit and to interact with it. So you know, here is very much, before you even go into the unit, you want to understand what are the surroundings it has, or probably more interested on this tower here. So you can click on the tower and you get into the tower. This is actually the tower that in relation to the surrounding, you can see the surrounding. Just now Dr. Daniel talked about 3 key. One of it is transparency. So this is what you see. This is what the actual surrounding you're getting. And from here, you can actually, sorry, let me just, okay, there are surrounding. You can get into, like, for example, these are facilities. You can move around the facility. You can see the view from the facilities. In here, you can actually change it to day or night.
Wow.
To experience. Yeah, let me just go to another space. This is another level. Again, you can change to day and night to see the difference of the mode. You can navigate into the space. It has this facility inside this development. Again, you can play a TV or any screen that you want to bring up. So here, again, it gives you the transparency and experientials into the services it has. And also, let me get back to the gallery. This is the development in relation to the surrounding. So again, you can navigate around Another features that I think a lot of buyers would like to know the prospects. When I buy a unit, I want to see what are the view am I getting, or what are the surrounding that it has. For this instance, probably I'm going to go into the surrounding. It's actually located at the KLCC area. This is the KLCC, and the development is just next to it here. So it's very near to the development, and what it has on the KLCC side. For example, click on all those amenities and facilities that you have here. Very quickly, with the mouse over, you can see what are the facility it has, and you can move from one location to another location on the area view, so that you can understand the surrounding. If I buy this property, what I have in terms of surrounding, what are the amenity or facility that you have. Right. Then from here, I'm probably going to go into the this context view. So context view is useful in a way when I want to buy properties. For example, here, there's a key plan. This is very much the plan that the development that is actually launching. As you turn around, you can see the radar. These are the unit that are facing KLCC. Yeah, these are the unit I wanted to buy because I want this view. In this particular example. So here, what you can do is you also can select the level. This is a lower level. You have something that is blocking. But if I go higher, I have it. The obstruction I can eliminate. And here that I also can bring out the units. You can click and you can get into to experience the units. So all this information will make available to the public, for the public to come in to explore, so that they have what they call informed, what they call that information that is required sufficient, what they want to find out before they make up their mind to come over. I'd like to show you another feature that is very useful.
Can I just interrupt you 1 second, Arthur? Sorry, we define that we can jump into each other.
Yes.
with short bullet question. You know, the feeling that I have by looking at this your demonstration is I can actually capture much more focused attention of a visitor in this way compared to the actual one. I mean, I go for a physical visit, I can get distracted by 1 million things because I can look around. I might not be really listening to what you are telling me, right? As a salesperson. But as a salesperson, you are driving me around this tour. Wow, the focus, the attention, the concentration, I think is hugely much higher compared to a physical tour.
Dr. Daniel, if I may, since we work together with Arthur, the same projects with the client here, it's the other way around. The control is actually not in the salesperson. The control is the potential buyer or the leads here, because they are the one can go around just like when they're walking around as normal. They don't have to worry that they need to wear a mask or not because they are in the same environment at home. And the beauty that I love about this is you still can actually get those leads to come to the showroom. Because what happened in 2020 is a lot of property developers struggling with that short period of work. They said, oh, we can't get the customer to come to the showroom because they cannot come to the showroom.
Yeah.
Now, and sales are basically complaining they can't get people to the showroom. Now, I think one of the things that you need to consider, this is going to be not an investment, a short-term investment. I would say this is going to be a long-term, because we don't know what's going to when it's going to be the end of the pandemic, but this is going to be worth a lot of return on the investment, because this is for sure providing a lot more experiential, right?
Yep.
And that will also for salespeople and for marketing, or for the head of sales here that listening to this program, I would love to share highlight to what Arthur is showing. A lot of time when I ask about the salespeople, how would you like to nurture your salespeople? They say, Alfred, listen to me. I can only remember between 100 to 150 people, okay? And 70% of them are my good friends and my family, all right? The rest is my leads. So how am I going to do that? So this is where we're talking about where the combined technology that we have between Pro Sales, Avanza, and also what Arthur is providing, and of course, Daniel, your expertise in marketing and so on. All this information can be provided as a way to nurture the customer, either through automations or through what the sales can say, I'll pick up something like this and I'm going to share it to them and then fine. So these are the things that they can use, a continuous showing. And yeah, I'm passing back to Arthur right now.
Yeah.
Well, just give a preview of what is possible while Dr. Daniel and Mr. Alfred is talking. So very much you can bring people to not only to your development, to the surrounding, to experience, to be able to see what it has to offer in the surrounding. For this instance, what you're seeing here is in Langkawi Island. It's not only selling the property in Langkawi Island, but what are the amenities and facilities that it has around it. Yeah. I want to highlight one of the very useful features, especially for the sales teams. It's always struggle and we try to explain and try to remember, like for like what you see here, it can be actual gallery, it can be 3D. This instance is actually a 3D gallery. What we can do here also, again, we can turn into something very useful for the salesperson by just a mouse click. You are able to see what is actually provided and what is ID furnished. So because sometimes it's partly furnished, fully furnished, or yeah, what this, for instance, on the left side, you can see these are what you buy. This is what you're going to get. If you want to have an ID package, yeah, this is the options that you can get. Yeah.
Wow. So, setting the right expectations.
Yeah.
And I think the best of all with this is that you don't need to wear this, right?
No. Yeah. And this is doing it at the comfort of your home. Very informative because it's probably when you walk into the sales gallery, you'll not be able to see all this experience. But in here, I just want to demonstrate another one. Yeah, this is also from the units. Here on the demonstrate is you can see the units from the different level of view, and you can actually change to night or day, like what you have on the facilities. So all this information is again, it breaks the ice. It's very transparent and build the trust. Because this is what you see, what you get. It's not like, yeah, some map. These are all actual. Yes, these are all actuals.
Very, very cool, man.
Yeah. Maybe I would like to just add on something for others. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, this is actually because that I think most of our audience here, I think is also developer or maybe from the sales and marketing departments, right? So during you guys do the sales, I think most of you guys we are facing the same problem but from the buyer, because there's sometimes that if let's say when you're using all these kind of the virtual tools, they were asking the common question one, this is not the real one. but because that most of the mindset of the buyer, we so-called the more traditional one, they tend to buy when they see the value or they see the benefit. So and this is where the technology today can help is actually like what Arthur just now was showing to us, like they are able to show it in the night view or the facility, what is the height, even the nearby, what is the nearby facility, the nearby amenities, and even the facility floor, and even like the furniture, without furniture or the bare unit, what is the differences, and this is actually all these things actually is give them a so-called another experience for the buyer, because that most of them they say that, hey, this one don't know is real or not. One how you show me whether it is like this. This is what like others mentioned just now, is what you see is what you buy. And then this actually provide not only the trust, but they provide the confidence to them to make the decision actually.
As Alfred was mentioning, building the trust is a full cooperation. Nowadays, what I see in the market is the trend that I see in the market. And believe me, whatever we are discussing here today is happening. It's not that we are doing fantasy flight. Arthur has been providing plenty of developers with his solution. Alfred is keep on helping developer sales team and agencies in getting hot leads coming out and being transformed in completed sales, as far as Chua has been providing his ProSales ProFix platform to real life developer who have been surviving. Is it real that we can buy a property online? Out of in a scale 1 to 10, Chua, where do you put the reality of buying online a property? 1 is cannot buy, 10 is 100% can buy.
Yeah, of course can buy. Yeah, maybe I just let you guys to know about the facts that, okay? Like actually it's not a so-called, it's not a fantasy, or maybe it's not a so-called gimmick for a person to buy a property online. But in fact that for I think just even before the MCO, okay, some of the investor, like for the overseas buyer or the overseas investor, they really purchase the property by using this online method. But just this lockdown, this COVID-19 pandemic, they speed up the process already. Not only for the overseas buyer, but also the local buyer. Like actually, I can share with you guys about okay. I mentioned that our process 2.0, we not only provide the so-called property sales management and also demand management, but we actually also provide a platform for the public buyer to come into the project and directly make the booking and payment for the project. And based on our previous I think around four project. That one is for project launching and also some of their private virtual event. We are based on our analytics. We find out that through this online booking method, we are able to sell almost 75% of the booking. They are able to secure.
How long? In how long?
The event basically will around some of the event they actually go for the whole weeks. Some of the events go for 1 or 2 days. But actually for the whole event, based on this field event and also this field launching, we find out that it is able to achieve 75% of the booking rate. Like currently what we are tracking currently is actually we are looking for the conversion rate from the booking, because we all know that when you book, but it's not really secure until you receive the loan, until you sign SPA, right? And this is why up to today, I also find out that based on our data, we are also actually find out that within this 75% of the booking, we are able to have more than 60% from there is actually convert to the sign SPA.
Actually converted. Wow. How do you do that? I mean, normally getting a loan approved by bank, it takes quite some time. I think you have something online, right? Integrated in your platform.
I got some secret sauce to add on with the chili padi.
Not secret sauce. You get some special chili.
I got that another type of chili sauce. Because actually, like other than the Atos and also the Alfred, we actually also partner with our another two partners. One is fintech partner, the Loan Plus, and also another legal tech partner, the Libro system. This is where we actually provide the so-called seamless experience for the property buyer. Whenever they go to buy the property online, they no longer need to like stop at the meters or anything. They can actually do the whole booking process inside a platform. Which means that whenever they go to a unit, they just choose the unit. Or maybe let me check whether I'm able to share my screen here. Okay.
So since Chua basically talking about that, I also highlight that we share a lot of common clients. We can't share the name of the company, but we do have a lot of sales that basically happened since 2020, and this is very encouraging.
Okay. You guys can see my screen. This is what I call it as a so-called DIY, do it yourself, or the self-service online property booking. And this is what the current situation, what is the current today what the property developer needs. They need the so-called contactless property buying experience. And then this buying experience actually is seamless. And this is where even the home buyer themselves, they are able to log into the project that they are going to buy. Then they check the availability based on their preference. Then from there, they can select the unit. After they select the unit, they just proceed. They just proceed to fill in the form themselves. This is where we call it as the DIY. They fill in their name, their IC. Then after that, they are also able to go through the loan screening online. You no longer need to prepare all the form and then go to submit to the bank. You just submit inside our system, our platform here. We will help you to process everything. Then at the end, we are also providing the loan score report for you, so that you guys will know that whether your financial background is strong or not, whether you are able to get the loan or not. Then from there, we will also proceed for you guys, for the home buyer, to do the online payment, to pay for the booking fee. After pay the booking fee, directly do the signature already. This is where we are actually moving the whole on ground property sales, move it to the digital method. And this is where we use this method for the previous last 4 events, where they are able to do the project launching, do their private launching, and also their virtual event online. And they are immediately on the spot. Like they will be using the tools like Arthur's 360, the 3 division, the tools. After that, they directly can close the sales from there. This is where we actually move the so-called the sales process even faster and even more digital.
Now, what is interesting? What is interesting is that what I can see, at least ProSales has been doing, is plugging onto its own platform a number of additional services which are really transforming the property buying journey in a fully seamless, contactless, fully digitalized and easy to go through process. And let's now remember to all our audience, the one online with us today, please drop question in the chat. We already have one, and I will
3 questions.
4. Then we have 4. Wow. Okay. Wow. Let's see the first one from the chat of the first is in the chat, is from Mr. Selvan. He's asking if we need to listen to the market. Do you think that we need to do survey about facilities when we start planning the development? Okay, maybe I can reply on this one, as is what I normally do for developers. Normally, developers are coming to us at Propenomy, raygroup.com, Raygroup and Propenomy.com, for us to make market survey, market research, to understand timing, size, pricing, and of course, the type of purchaser that you are going to have. Who are your purchaser? What are they looking for? How much is their budget? So that you have a very clear information on their likes. Again, it's matter to listen first, plan second, execute third, and automatically while you are executing, you are selling, because you are giving them what they were looking for. Is definitely a listening process, which is very important. Now, in the Q&A session instead, we have a question saying, how can we do a comparison between a physical and a virtual experience? People, this is probably a developer talking, because people still want to see, feel, touch, and I don't think virtual will be the future. It's often too unfriendly and difficult to use. Can you prove me wrong? Well, I will let Arthurs give a reply on this, but we have been seeing how easy it is go around the whole process. And I would like Arthurs first, and then Chua to give some indication of how user-friendly is this virtual world. And please drop other question. and try not to be too long in your replies because we still have another 15 minutes only. Time flies by
All right.
with a lot of chili.
Okay. Talking about virtual and physical, what we can do, yeah, the touch and all those is not there, but the emotion trigger from the eye, from what they see, from what they interact, and also there are features that we built in that we are able to give them a guided tour, and it's two-way communications, which means that you can bring them, show them the place, and you can allow them to communicate to change the control to the other party to bring back. So what that means is if you believe this is because it's going to be out to the public are free to visit 24/7 at their safe place, their own comfort. And from there, any question they have, they can always connect to the sales team or your sales agents. And from there, they can push up a question and can interact seamlessly to get the answer, to see, to explain. And these are all 360. It's very, how easy it is since just swipe left and right to be able to navigate, and there are hotspots that you can identify easily to click to get further information. Yeah, that you
Yeah,
actually
very,
wanted.
very
If I
easy
may-
to navigate through.
Yeah.
If I may come in here, because the reason why I love this question is because I have been answering such a questions when salespeople actually asking me and property developers are asking the same questions before. Now, I would say that again, we have to think as a human. And the question is actually relevant, just that the perspective is basically too tight. Okay, we're not trying to prove that question is right or wrong. We're just going to tell you that you have to look at it very differently, think differently. Now, first of all, as I mentioned, the community, the people today getting smarter. When they're when they're smarter, but they're locked in their house, what do? They have their smart device. So that's why they do research online, then they make the inquiries or make their journey. Now, let me ask you this. Would you love to watch your movie in a big theater, or you would like to watch it in your mini computer today? Most people say, oh, I love it, my mini computer. You're fine with it. But there's no popcorn that I enjoy. There's no holding hands with my boyfriend or my girlfriend, with my wife, with my children, going to that big place after watching. That's experiential, right? We're still human. In fact, today I'm looking forward for my weekend, though I can actually ride my motorbike inside my compound, right? Because why? I'm still a physical human. Now, both experience are still relevant. The only thing that you need to consider this as a property developer, if you don't have the virtual experience, your competitor has. Now, what kind of value statement are you telling to your customers? What kind of brand statement are you telling to your potential customers? Because the same thing today, the problem is you have to understand, like me, I'm not just selling properties and so I mean, selling my technology and helping my client. I'm also an investor. I mentioned that to many. I buy property too. So because I'm a buyer, I make decisions based on that logic too. I think if this company is actually big enough, why are they not afford to do this? And you know, today when we're talking about, wow, that property developer is almost bankrupt, they cannot pay their salaries. What happened? The whole market become into a trouble because we all say, oh, we are not going to buy this property because they have this problem. Yeah. Exactly, right? So that's what brand is all about.
Is the perception that you are giving to the market.
Correct, correct.
Yep.
So I would highlight that there's two different things. It's nothing to prove it right or wrong. It's just that where you access yourself. And yeah, that's what my input is.
Yeah, I fully agree to Alfred. Yeah, because that just like what you mentioned, the smartphone and also the so-called the internet is very easy to access today, and it even that changed the so-called the consumer behavior, the consumer habits and also their behavior. Like today, everything that a home buyer they need to know from the project information until the inside, even the pricing trend around the surrounding, everything is available online, and anyone could just access this information at any time, anywhere. And this thing actually already become a very normal thing in the market. Just like Alfred, you say that if let's say this is also one of the branding issue. Also, if let's say everyone also got this, but you don't have, then people might lose some confidence on you. And then like just like you going to a war, everyone is using the gun, but you're still taking the knife. Then how the people will see you, right?
You are so
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, actually this is where they actually provide this so-called like we can't say that the physical experience is better or the virtual experience is better, but both of these experience actually is the add-on experience for the buyer.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Whenever they
yeah.
want to buy, they want to make the buying decision. Uh, they might prefer for the physical, but if let's say like today they are not able to do it physically, at least there's a virtual for them. They can feel it virtually. Yeah.
And I would like to add here, on the contrary of what 6 months ago we were all thinking, second half 2021, pandemic will be moving away, we go back physical, property market will rebounds and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about 2022 or even worse, 2023.
Yeah,
And
it's a
still,
rebound, but it's the number of cases of rebound.
exactly. So it's something, as Alfred is saying, as Arthur is showing, is easy to use. As Alfred is saying and has been bringing in real example, is something that increase the value of your brand. And as Chua is explaining, is a very seamless, user-friendly. Don't think that technology brings at the front end all the complicated things. No, complicated are all in the back end. Technology is actually very universal when applied to property, PropTech. PropTech is very universal because allows people from every type of age, every type of knowledge to assess it in a very simple way. Now, we still have one question to reply and only 10 minutes to go through it, which is the big unveiling of all these hot red chili session. Property infinity loop. What is the meaning of property infinity loop? Let me put up very fast a slide just to show to our public what we mean when we talk about property infinity loop. Developers are investing energy, effort, money, people in creating awareness, in attracting leads, in filling them into the e-funnel. Out of the e-funnel, Alfred is warming them up. The sales team able, thanks to the warm-up, to close with a good ratio. I sign SPA, I sign loan agreement. What the salespeople, or even worse, sometimes the same developer does. Next one, please. And I forget about the previous one. The previous one is what? Oh, he's my buyer. Why should I care about him? He can wait until when we deliver the property, right? Wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Is a very, very, very wrong and destructive type of practice. Now, what all this journey, digitalized journey is doing, Arthurs, Alfred, Chua, Loan Plus, and many others, is to create a keep on changing, keep on being interesting experience for your customers. It's not that once they buy, you drop them in a corner and you forget about them.
Yeah, Dr. Daniel.
Yeah.
Try to interrupt. Yeah, just
Please.
like maybe I can just give a more layman example. Just like when you go to a restaurant, okay? If when you come into a restaurant, they say they throw you a menu and they say, hey, okay, you just order yourself. Then after they order, they just give you anything, don't have any services. Then after that, will you still will recommend your friend to go for this restaurant? Of course, no, right? But if let's say you go to a very good restaurant, when you go in, they treat you very well. Then they serve you with all their heart, all their care. Then at the end, when you come out from the restaurant, of course you will share out at your social media or share out in your friends group, right?
Yeah.
To tell them, hey guys, yeah, I go to this restaurant. Actually, the food quite nice. The service is absolutely fantastic. Then anyone will feel it, or really or not, then they will come and try for it. And this is how the concept of our infinity sales look. Like where I in the beginning I actually mentioned that we are as a property developer, your mindset not only restrict under a project, but actually the whole property sales is a very long journey. It's not a project journey. It's more like a lifestyle journey. After you complete this project, of course you will have another project. After you got the second project, you got the third project, and this is
Wait. But my buyer is a own use buyer. He will never buy a second property from me.
Yeah, that's why. Just like what the example I point out just now. If you will share it out for your friends, right? If let's say you find this developer, wow, their service is very good. Then whenever someone asks me that, hey, is there got any project or any property developer you can recommend? Of course, I'm the first person I will recommend you to them. And this is how it is actually one of the way that indirectly build up your reputation and also your branding by providing this so-called the after sales service.
After sales service, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is keep on communicating with the community of your buyers. You become a developer community builder. Why? Because you keep them informed about the progress of the project, the progress of construction. I'm pretty sure that in the panoramic of services provided by Artus, there is also the possibility of having a live view of the last achievement, I don't know, top up of the 15th floor, top up of the 30th floor, top up of the tower, and so on. And then you invite them for special event. Why? Because they are your most precious asset. You need to keep on giving them chili padi so that the taste of your food will keep on being very exciting, and they will keep on following what you are doing. It is
Dr. Daniel, if I may, because we have a short time, I have two more questions that they've been trying to ask here. First of all, is how could generating those follow-up, those leads from the Facebook campaign and so on, be relevant with the infinity loop? And also another question which is saying that, you know, what kind of cost we're talking about, how to build and maintain such an infinity loop? Let me answer two questions that relevant to that infinity loop, because this is what I've been I'm passionate about. Now, very important thing is everybody understand what it means by long-term value. Right? Long-term value is in the infinity loop, right? So we are not talking about your buyer just buying once and then basically they will not buy another unit. It's because they are human beings, they have their own community, they love their others and others love them. They are your ambassador. It is best to talk about you, right? And then talk about social media. Today, you have to really understand about marketing and digital marketing and the channel about it, okay? So as I mentioned the pyramid here, the top 3% are basically what we call the search version. Those people who really wanted to understand you. Those who are really say, hey, there's a virtual reality that I can actually go and see because I want to know about that project because I'm interested, I have the money and I have the budget, I want to buy them, right? But those who basically just stumble on you and maybe interested, maybe not. Now, those are the one what we call the bottom 13% or slightly more. These are the one that you need to woo them, you need to love them, you need to, you know, chili padi them, right? This is where the marketing comes in. This is not just one time and get it done. Now, that's why I'm sharing that to my sales training, which we provide as part of our consultancies. We do sales training, we do the marketing, and then we share that. And of course, using that integrated platform that we work with pro sales and of course with others. Now, from there, we actually explain that the sales and the marketing need to understand, and also the management need to understand, it doesn't mean that when they fill up the form, they want to buy now. That's not a correct understanding. That's not chili padi hot. That's basically still cold, and you need to warm them up and then them that hot chili padi to make them warm and say that I want to buy. Okay, if not buying, I want to refer them to my family to buy them. That's very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
that's what the infinity loop is all about.
Exactly. Keep on nurturing. Well,
Yep.
like all the beautiful things, unfortunately, all this red hot chili talk today is coming to an end. And I need to wrap up a bit because we have 2 minutes before the end of this session. I would like to wrap up with one reminder. You set a date in your calendar, ladies and gentlemen, in the public. August 13 at 3 p.m. There will be the second episode of this Marketing and Red Hot Chili talk show, in which we will talk about inbound marketing. At that time, during that session, we will really go through with the experts, bloggers and marketers, what is capturing more attention from practical experience and real story. What comes in as inbound marketing and how to feed the e-funnel of your campaign, so that Arthurs and Alfred and Chua can then start working actively on all these. Second thing, very, very important, remember this number. You please take a picture of it, print screen, do what you prefer to do. Wait, need to close this first. Where is it? I lost 1 second only. I don't know where is ended, never mind. Is the number that I've been showing to you at the beginning, and I think my sales team has been, the organizer, sorry, has been also putting it up in the chat. You make sure you call 012 319 7338 if you have any additional question or would like to know more about pro-sale services, advanced services, or my 3D vision services, Arthurs, or our inbound market survey, market research services. And 2 seconds bye-bye from each of you. Arthurs, you are the first one.
Thank you for the audience. Thank you, Dr. Daniel and the team here. What we have here is very interesting integrated system that you complete the sales process. I believe this is the future, and this is where you can streamline the process and get the necessary experience from the prospect so that you have something very memorable and very easy to deal with when you buy a property.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alfred?
I would like to thank the audience. Really, this is about you. It is not about us. What we want to share is really about what we're passionate about. And that's what makes us pump up every morning, waking up, trying to figure out the best way to share this so that we can empower your team. We can inspire them so that they can feel value when they go back home or probably stay at home doing something productivity, because they know that they're doing a good job, even though that they're at home serving your client. This is what we want to deliver.
Great. Chua?
Yeah. Just want to thanks for the audience today for joining with us today. I hope that you guys can just take away something from our session today. Just the main thing that I would like to highlight is we need to have the so-called the sense of the urgency. We need to sensitive on what the market is experiencing today, and today is actually a digital world. We have to be open and accept and also even adopt the latest technology, so that in order to help you to ensure your business can continue and also it survive during these very, very tough times.
Very good, Chua. And from my side, my one is not a bye-bye, but a see you soon, because I will be again online with you August 13, Friday, 3 p.m., same place, same channel. We will get in touch. And with this, I would like to thank you all for being here. Thank you, Chua. Thank you, Alfred. Thank you, Artis. And don't forget to bring your chili paddy, because tonight I'm going to cook a pasta arrabbiata. Bye bye. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.